Welcome to Business as a Magical Practice, where your business is the vehicle for your self-integration and soul evolution. My name is Sam Garcia, and I'm the founder of Dirty Alchemy Digital Marketing. And I'll be guiding you through how you can use your business as a spiritual practice and what magical businesses are doing to hit their goals and change the world. Together, we'll be relating the mystical to the world of business so that our work can unite spirit and matter, shadow and light, conscious and unconscious. Let's dive in.
I definitely fall into the camp of not having any regrets because of all the fuck ups and failures and totally embarrassing and cringe-worthy experiences I've gone through. They've all gotten me to where I am now. But I did do a mental exercise the other day and ended up thinking about, what do I regret not doing sooner in my business? And there were a good 5 things that I identified as key elements that would have gotten me to a successful, scalable, stable, profitable business in 2 or 3 years instead of 10. I'll take you through all of them in time, but one I really want to highlight today is sales. It's one thing that I know limited my earning potential, being unwilling to do sales calls. Probably beyond even that was not realizing that I should be doing sales calls in the first place. A massive perspective shift I had relating to this was going from thinking of myself as a marketer, as a freelancer, to thinking of myself as an agency owner, a business owner. And I see this over and over again with service providers. They love their craft. They love being a healer or graphic designer or coach. And they totally identify with being that identity, that service provider identity, that freelancer identity. And it is important to be obsessed with your craft, to think the work that you do in the world is insanely important and transformative and so interesting and fun. But to not identify first and foremost as a business owner is causing you to have a bottleneck in your business. And a part of being a business owner is focusing on marketing and sales. A part of growing a business as a service provider is doing sales calls. So many people want to avoid this, to go straight to launching a course or program instead of getting good at sales. But the way to most easily grow your business and hit success quickly in your business is to fall in love with sales calls. Is that a stretch? At least to be willing to consistently prioritize doing sales calls, to get comfortable with doing sales calls. And maybe you call them discovery calls or initial consultations, but they are still ultimately sales calls. So let's have a little affirmation to open you up with this. Ready? Maybe close your eyes, take some deep breaths. Feel free to repeat after me. I am open to prioritizing sales calls. I am open to sales calls being fun. I am open to sales calls being of deep service to my potential clients. The truth is that sales calls are money-generating activities. One big action item I have the magical people do in the Alchemical Business Intensive is to cut the fat out of their business, to cut out the shit that doesn't matter. We can talk about systems and automations and delegating all day long. I love all of those things so much. And hiring a team and delegating things off of your plate is a sexy, sexy thing. It makes you feel powerful and like a boss. But if you're hiring and delegating and building systems for things that don't actually make a large impact on your business, then you're just wasting time. And you're wasting other people's time. And you're paying people to waste time. Not good, right? So first, you got to get clear on what actually matters and what actually moves business forward in your business. And that is on you as the CEO. You may be tempted to do research and take more courses and procrastinate in the most innocent and seemingly productive ways. But if you have generated sales in your business, then you know how to make more sales. Just do more of the shit that works, that's worked for you in the past. And if you haven't generated sales in your business, then you need to commit to experimenting and taking action and doing the hard and potentially triggering things, like reaching out to real humans to schedule some fucking sales calls. When you're below capacity in your business, as in you can take on more clients, then your first order of business is to focus your attention on marketing and sales. And of course, delivering stellar work and results. But cutting out the fat in your business looks like cutting out the things that are not bringing you more clients and bringing your clients more results. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Cutting out the fat in your business looks like cutting out the things that are not bringing you more clients and cutting out the things that are not bringing your clients more results. If you're a service provider, then that is most likely getting people onto sales calls with you. At least if you're charging enough and selling larger packages and higher end offers, which is a great way to go and focus on if you're starting out or if you're below 6 figures or even multiple 6 figures in annual revenue. So what happens when you cut out the fat and you just start focusing on the needle moving, revenue generating, results creating activities? As in, you stop spending hours a day on Instagram and instead focus on relationship building. Time and space opens up. And you may be tempted to fill that time and space, as the laws of nature will encourage you to do. But let's not do that, okay? On the most practical level, you need to be reserving enough space in your calendar to serve the number of clients you want to serve. What I mean by that is, if you have 5 clients right now and you want 10 clients, so you want 5 more clients, you really do need to reserve space in your calendar for those 5 additional clients, for fulfilling that work, for meeting with them, whatever it is you need to do to fulfill the deliverables of your offer. Or else you will be on this teeter-totter seesaw of marketing versus fulfilling. Filling up time with marketing and then getting a boatload of clients, and then all of your time is filled with delivering client results and you neglect on your marketing efforts, and then you don't have a pipeline of clients gearing up to work with you. So you have to then focus on marketing and back and forth of stressful playing catch up, when you really just needed to be more potent with your time, to cut the fat, to probably raise your prices. But that's a topic for another day. We're not talking about raising prices today. So let's go back to sales calls. The one thing I quote unquote regret not committing to earlier on in my business. Sales calls are all about your relationship with your work and your relationship with your potential clients. Relationships are a key component in building an in-flow business. And when you don't double down on relationships, then you will feel icky in your business, in your marketing, with your money. Sales calls are you having a conversation with someone who is interested in working with you. They want what you have to offer, and they want the transformation you are an expert in giving. Sales calls are only icky if you don't believe in what you're selling. So there's some mindset homework for you right there, okay? Sales calls are icky when you aren't talking to the right people. You're selling an Eskimo a fan instead of selling an Eskimo an insulated jacket. Sales calls are icky when you feel like you're taking something away from someone and you believe that your potential client's money is more valuable to them than the transformation you provide, that you are causing harm to them by taking their money. But you are a heart-centered, intuitive, magical person. You are doing incredible, life-altering work in the world. You would not be like a used car salesman that is pushy and is lying about the car's features and mileage. You just can't do that. That's not you. You have an offer that you are selling, and a service that you're selling. And honestly, it is not your decision to decide whether or not your potential clients decide to pay you. That is not your responsibility, not your decision to make. Sure, you can choose not to work with someone because you get red flags on your end, but you making a clean offer and then waiting for their response, their response in and of itself is not up to you. It's not fucking up to you, okay? Your responsibility is to instead get really clear on the value of your service, of your offer, and you need to get really clear on who it is perfect for. You have the responsibility to demonstrate the potential future reality for your potential client if they decide to work with you, okay? So let's get into some sales call best practices. In an ideal world, your prospect knows of you already, but it's not required. Ideally, they were referred to you. Ideally, they are already a fan of your work and they read your articles and emails and listen to your podcast. They already know, like, and trust you. If that's the case, sales calls are very easy. You're just quickly connecting to be clear about the nuts and bolts and to feel each other out in a one-on-one setting. A step away from that ideal scenario, you got to think about the level of awareness your prospect has. And there are 5 levels of awareness your prospect can have. The first level is unaware. These are prospects who don't realize they have a problem at all. They simply don't know a better way exists. If you have a new product that addresses a major drawback of previous solutions, most of your prospects may be at this level. So these are people, let's think of an example. I'm just going to use marketing for an example. A business that is completely unaware that marketing will serve their business. They don't even know that they need to be focusing on all the different components of marketing their business. Maybe that's not the best example. Anyways, second level of awareness is problem aware. Problem aware prospects know they have a problem and have some idea of what that problem is, but they may not completely understand it. They haven't dealt with this problem before. They're totally unfamiliar with possible solutions. So that's our second level, problem aware. They know the problem, don't know the solution. Our third level is solution aware. Solution aware prospects know about solutions like yours, but don't know your specific product or service. If your company isn't well known in their industry, they might not have heard of you before. So we had our unaware as the first level, problem aware as our second level, solution aware as our third level of awareness that the prospects could have. Our fourth level, product aware. These are prospects that know your product, but they haven't bought from you before. They're familiar with what other people in your industry are offering. They're just not sure if your solution specifically is the best for them. So maybe they've already decided they want a life coach. They've already made that decision, and now they're just trying to decide which life coach to hire. That would be a product aware level. And finally, we have our most aware. These are your best customers, your multi-buyers. They're brand loyal. They're enthusiastic about you. They read your emails. They watch your Instagram stories and all the things, right? Like, this is who we want to be talking to. In an ideal world, we want to be focusing on the most aware and getting the most aware people, creating a bigger and bigger pool of that level 5 most aware people. And I got to say, please, please, please don't go after unaware people. It's an uphill battle. And maybe you don't even realize you're doing this. So in the posts that you're writing, the articles you're writing, the podcasts you're producing, if you're talking to people who don't even know they have a problem and trying to convince them and teach them that they have a problem, this is you trying to market to unaware people. It is not a good use of your time. Maybe once you're at like Coca-Cola level of profit and being well known, like then you can focus on the unaware demographic. But in the beginning, you really don't want to be marketing to those people because you have to take them through all of the levels of awareness before they'll be ready to buy. Instead, you want to be stepping steps and steps and steps further away from your most aware people. So we talk to our most aware people. Then we want to start creating content and attracting people who are product aware, who already know that they want to purchase your particular solution, but they're trying just to decide on which company to buy from. And then our solution aware people, and then our problem aware people, but please, 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 no unaware people. Okay, so moving on, let's look at some stats. 92% of buyers find that they find a sales call valuable if you provide industry or market insights and give them a new perspective and help them better understand their needs. That's 92% of people. This is in stark contrast to the fact that only 20% of people value conversations with salespeople. Or, put another way, 80% of people find a conversation with a salesperson to be useless. So, here's your big differentiator. Give the people what they want. Instead of just talking about pain points and desires and painting a picture of their future, which is a standard sales call flow, give value, give information, change their perspective. Go out there and try this out for yourself. Prepare for a call by doing some research. And you are the expert. You're the thought leader. So ask yourself, what big perspective shift can I give my potential client? This is how you show up and do sales calls and increase your closing rate. This is how you deeply serve your potential clients, whether or not they buy from you at all. This is how to feel really good about doing sales calls, excited to be doing sales calls, because you'll see the transformation you're able to give people before they even hire you. The sales call is valuable in and of itself. So, I haven't talked about sales before on this podcast. What a fun topic. And it's a big one. So I'll leave you with a final bit here. So much of this is mindset. If you believe your offers or services are the shit and your people would be crazy not to buy from you, then selling becomes really easy. And you can create any belief you want. Creating new beliefs is a skill you can develop. Also, building relationships is a key part of doing business with yourself, with money, and with your clients and potential clients. This is a major part of the framework I teach in the Alchemical Business Intensive. When you actively build relationships, then you build a larger pool of people who are already a yes before they even get on a call with you. And when you give value through changing a prospect's perspective on a sales call, you are giving them what they want, and you will convert more people from potential clients to actual clients. And guess what? We are starting to enroll people into the next round of the Alchemical Business Intensive that starts in October. If you join before mid-July, you get a bonus 90-minute one-on-one call with me, and you get premier access to our resource library, including sales call trainings and our 28-day marketing cycle training. There are a limited number of spots available. It's a small, tight-knit group that is this mastermind, so we can build these deep relationships. So head on over to the dirtyalchemy.com/ABI to learn more and apply. We'll put that link in the show notes. But after you apply, I will reach out to you to schedule a call with you to see if it's a good fit, so we can actually just have a conversation on the phone to see if it makes sense for where you're at in your business. And yeah, that is it. I am so excited to start talking about sales calls with you all, because it is, as I mentioned, it was really, really key. Making that perspective shift, making that shift was so important in getting my business to where it is today. So if you have any stickiness and ickiness around sales calls, you want to address that way sooner than later. So you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Head on over to thedirtyalchemy.com/ABI to learn more and apply. I cannot wait to read your application.